Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hey You Guys Review Show. It's a busy week this week, so we're going to move on to the second film that we're going to talk about. You'll notice that we've had a wardrobe change. But, ignore that. We're going to talk about the new Hulu slash Stars slash Disney Plus series, Pam and Tommy, which started yesterday, Wednesday. It's Thursday today. It started on Wednesday with the first 3 episodes of an 8-episode miniseries. Now, if you don't know already, this is the story of Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, their relationship in part, and also the stealing of their sex tape, which a disgruntled carpenter back in the early 90s stole. And then it was one of the first it was the first sex tape scandal that there ever was. It was in the infancy of the internet. It was still dial up and all those things that you take for granted these days. This was a big deal, not just because of the nature of the fact that it was Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee, and you can guess how people reacted to that, but also this huge invasion of privacy and lots of other stuff that has set the precedent for a lot of stuff that's happened in the world since. So we're going to talk about that right now. So Linda, you've just seen this, so this is fresh for you, but you haven't seen all of it. Obviously it's only the first 3 episodes anyway, really.
I watched 1 episode and a half, and I have to say I was very apprehensive watching this because, being a Gen Xer, I remember this first time around. So they are characters in my sort of youth. So I remember very vividly them getting together and the tape coming out and ramifications around that. And so I was apprehensive, and I didn't know how they were going to sort of set up the story. So I put it off. I really didn't want to watch it. Hadn't actually realized that Seth Rogen was also in this, and I am a massive Seth Rogen fan, like huge. I think he makes everything 120% more interesting just by being in it, and I really loved him in this. I'm kind of surprised at how much I liked it. I didn't think there was any story there and how important, but I think it's a slice of sort of American history. It's a Hollywood history, a slice of Hollywood history that maybe sort of younger viewers wouldn't have been aware of. And I think they did actually a really good job doing this. I really loved Lily James as her. I wasn't sure about the casting to start with, but I thought she was really good. I think Sebastian Stan is fantastic as Tommy Lee. I really liked it. Surprisingly really liked it. What do you think?
So I really liked it, same as you. I was lucky enough to have the first 8 episodes sent to me, so I won't go into any spoilers for anybody that obviously there's only the first 3 episodes available to the public at the moment. But what I will say is the second half of the show deals with a lot of the aftermath of the tape being released, which I thought was really good. It really does a very, very clever and very thoughtful job of dealing with the legalities of it, this huge invasion of privacy, the defamation of character, and also the difference, particularly in the 90s, where it's kind of it's not different. I'm not saying that it's different, but they do such a good job at showing how Pamela was treated compared to Tommy Lee. I thought that was really, really interesting. And the kind of politics and the kind of sexuality in terms of how the woman is treated versus how the man's treated, and I thought that was really good, and they did it really, really well. And that really shines this amazing light on Lily James and her performance. I think her performance gets stronger as the series goes on. Not that it's not strong the whole way through, but as that stuff kind of comes into it, she really shows her class, and she's really, really good. When again, people have this image of what Pamela and Tommy were. They were this huge kind of power couple, weren't they? They were a huge thing in the 90s, like you say, and this kind of thing never really happened. They even talk about the porn industry in the sense that this was the infancy of the internet. Things didn't exist. This Zoom that we're doing now didn't exist. It was all dial up and everything else. So I liked the juxtaposition between how it was in the 90s, which a lot of people will look at and go, crikey, I wasn't born, or I was only little in those days. I wasn't really. Whereas now, you can watch these kind of tapes quite easily in the land that we live in 2022. But and obviously that's also changed a lot in the years in terms of there's other celebrities that have had you know, there was that big thing 5 or 6 years ago when all these iCloud photos and images and videos were all hacked and stolen, you know. So, and that was the big thing, when actually this was probably the first of its kind, and it just happened to have Pamela Anderson, and you can see the kind of trajectory of their careers as well, and the aftermath and all that kind of stuff. I thought they did that really well. Yes, there's a lot of humor in there. Yes, there's a lot of playfulness in there as well, and they are characters that are kind of larger than life anyway. But I like the fact that in the second half of the season, you get to see the other side of it, which I thought was really, really interesting. And Sebastian Stan's really good, and Seth Rogen is always good. I like you, was very kind of concerned that there was a series here. I wasn't sure when I first saw the trailer. I was like, not too sure. But that first image of when Lily James came out as Pamela Anderson, like the behind the scenes photo of her, it was just like, okay, I need to see it just for this. This is the reason why I need to see it. But I liked that it had a lot more depth and a lot more kind of nuance to it than just a Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee story. You get that, you've seen that. There's some crazy moments when they meet, all that kind of stuff.
I actually want to go back to a really important point that you made about the sort of the double standards in male and female thing, and that's actually the thing that put me off to start with. That's why I didn't know whether I wanted to see it, because I didn't know what angle they were going at. And I just, you know, and I'm not someone who has a great amount of love for Tommy Lee. Actually, I not to be to sort of be so too horrible, but I think she was treated very unfairly. He treated her very unfairly, and I have a lot of love for Pamela Anderson. I think she's she doesn't have a bad bone in her body, and I was just really worried about where the sort of the dynamics, how this was going to play out. And you know, she didn't agree to her tape being released, and I was a little bit worried whether that was how it was to be making a popular drama series about that point. So I think it's been dealt with quite well. I have, like I said, I've only watched to the first and second episode, and I'm interested to see how it develops. I'm assured now that what you said, it was handled quite well, so that's good. I'm glad it was handled well. But yeah, again, I was surprised at how much I liked it, and I wasn't expecting to, really.
Yeah, I think it has both, like you say, the first 3 episodes, I think people have grasped onto, like, it's quite light and quite frothy, and it's about the celebrity aspect. But as the show goes on, even though maybe it didn't quite completely work over 8 episodes, maybe it was 1 too many, I don't know, but that's a small criticism. But I think the way that they've done it, and they dig deep into it as you go on, I think, if you stick with it does kind of change its tone and deal with the aftermath, which is very, very serious. This is a very serious,
absolutely,
whether it was a sex tape or a photo or just someone burgling their house, it's a serious thing, whatever it is. For people to showcase it as entertainment, you kind of subconsciously forget that stuff, when actually that's the thing that you forget about when you see, oh, Pam Anderson this or blah 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 blah, when actually you kind of forget in that moment about how it affects the people. Well, it did affect both of them, whatever people think of them. This was a bad thing, and shouldn't have been done in the way that it went down. So but there's a lot of it's quite poppy and quiet, and it's very entertaining as well as all that other stuff. So I like the balance between it. So I think people will get a kick out of it. As it's a show, maybe we don't need to. We could, if you want to give it a star rating, you can.
Oh no,
I haven't seen it yet, so we are recommending you go and watch Pam and Tommy. I am wholehearted.
It's a thumbs up from us.
It's a thumbs up from us. There you go. 2 thumbs up. All the more reason to go is Lily James's incredible transformation, but her performance is so good. And also, it's one of those things where I think people have like, Lily James. Isn't she British, and doesn't she do like costume? But wait till you see it. Wait till you see her. She's so good, and I would imagine down the line she will be up for some awards. There's no
she was great. She was really great.
I can't see her not being up for awards for this performance. She's fantastic. But the ensemble is really good. Taylor Schilling's great in it. She's in there. Nick Offerman is always great. He's always fun. He's in there as well. So it is on Disney Plus and Star on Disney Plus. I think people are quite confused by the fact it's on Disney Plus. They're like, wait, what? But that's why the Star thing exists. So Star is the adult, not adult like that.
No.
It's the adult. It's where they're 15 and 18 rated films.
Yeah, 18 rated or 15
this
rated.
is on there. That's where you can watch Only Murders in the Building, for example, and a few other things.
Yeah.
Predator.
Fantastic show, by the way. Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, we will
be really great show.
When it comes out later in the year.
My hero, comedy hero, Steve Martin, you know. Right. We're not reviewing that right now.
Not reviewing that right now, but you should go and watch that. Okay. But that's Pam and Tommy. So the first 3 episodes are available now, and then there will be one more it'll be weekly, one more episode. So episode 4 next week, episode 5 the week after. We sincerely hope that you go and check it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!